Wow, wow, wow. Here I am. Wasn't even planning on wasn't watching the Bengals Bills game, even though it was a big game, but I had prior obligations. And I was getting messages and things about what had took place in the game, and and yeah, I really didn't want to see that see what had happened, but I just went ahead and looked at it, and just a scary situation, to say the least. Damar Hamlin, honestly, like real prayers, as a man of faith, a man who believes in the Most High, who know the truth about the Most High. Definitely got that guy in our prayers, and his family, you know, because that's a tough situation. We know football is a dangerous sport, but that's one of those things that you never want to see happen to anyone. If it's a player you don't like or whatever the case may be, we must always remember that these people are people just like us. They have families just like us. Some of them are married just like us, have kids just like us. On and on and on. They are people. And sometimes we seem to forget that because they are on television and we know, for the most part, how much money they make. That stuff goes out the window, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't go out the window. The fact that, knowing how much money they make and things like that, that stuff it goes out the window when you see something like this happen. It shouldn't even matter to people. I got a little tongue twisted there. It shouldn't even matter how much money they make. That's their profession. That's what they're great at. That's what it is they do, and if they can capitalize off it, then so be it. But when you look, I try not to. I don't like to be the guy that. I like to think about the person first, digest everything, and then scrolling through social media and seeing Skip Bayless's name trend. This thing was crazy. And looking at this tweet, just in general, Twitter got this new this new update to where you can see how many people has viewed your tweet. The seriousness of something when something like that happens. Skip Bayless, a guy who has talked about, I remember him calling Mike McCarthy fat, saying that that's not the type of coach he wants. He doesn't look like the type of guy that can inspire. He and his colleague got into it over that on television. He also talked about Dak mental issues, not how he doesn't like the fact that Dak put it out there. And when he talked about these things, it pretty much reflects on how he cared more about the game, how it appears that he cares more about the game than the actual person. And it showed here again with his tweet about the situation that happened with Damar Hamlin. He said, no doubt, and in this tweet, mind you, at the time of me recording this and at the time of you seeing this, it has 89.9 million views. A lot of people have seen this tweet. A lot of people has reacted to this tweet, quote tweet, etc. And the tweet says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. And just so you guys know, this guy, they was giving this guy CPR. He was at the point to where he wasn't breathing, which means that he's gone. He's in critical condition, but if you're not breathing, that means you're basically gone at that point. But as last as we heard, he's in critical condition. So we honestly, man, praying that he pulls through and everything. But Skip said, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems irrelevant. The fact that he can have the courage, the temerity, just the guts to say something like that, just really shows a lot. It shows a lot, not just about him, but just how privileged he is. And I'm not coming at this from a white privilege race standpoint, but just how privileged he is. The fact that he can say something like that with no fear of consequences and just so tone deaf to a situation. We know Skip Bayless. If you're watching this, you're someone who most likely knows Skip Bayless, and you know he has come out and said many times that, you know, his career comes before his wife. He's never had children because of his career. It will always be first in his life. He's a sports fanatic. He and Dame had a dispute during the COVID era in 2020 about Dame saying that they shouldn't play, and Skip, you know, basically saying they should play just for his own love of sports. And this is one of those moments where it just makes you just be embarrassed to be a sports fan. But yeah, it's just saying this. It just, like I said, it just goes to show we shouldn't be surprised. But it's like when a guy goes too far, you say you never thought someone could sink so low. But after this right here, it just really goes to show who this guy is, exactly who he is. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome. Like, how heartless can one person be when a man's life is in jeopardy? When a man's family don't know if he's going to don't have any control over what happens with their loved one, his life. To talk about, and people may say, oh, well, Skip is probably not the only one, but Skip Bayless has a big voice. That's why we are talking about it. That's why a lot of people are talking about it. Because when you're someone who has a big voice like that and so much influence, it matters. But to be this tone deaf over a man for your love of sports, when a guy life is in danger, is in jeopardy, it really makes you sit, like you have to sit back and just really think, like, is he really going to get away with this? Being this insensitive? Because I mentioned now 90,000 views on this tweet, and all the people who are coming at him for this tweet, these are not just normal, like, you know, just trolls who are trolling him. These are people who are verified, blue check marks, people who are really torn up over this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this. You got Kendrick Perkins, a guy who works at another network, saying you're a sick individual, real talk. Darrell Reeves, Patrick Peterson, Nina Turner. I'm just looking at Rotimi, the singer. Who else? Colin Kaepernick, I believe this is. These are not just normal. These are not Isaiah Thomas. These are not just people who are coming at him on his post, trolling him when he says something so ridiculous, like probably something that doesn't have anything, something that's controversial, but not to the magnitude of what has happened here during this Monday Night Football game. I'm scrolling down and all I see is blue checkmark people. I'm just looking for people I recognize. But yeah, look, like you're not finding just regular people on Twitter under something like this, because this tweet has got a lot of attention, and it's like, man, it makes me take a step back and just like, man, I'm definitely not watching Undisputed. I was already more of a clip watcher from this point anyway. If it's a topic that I was interested in, I'll watch that, but I can't sit through a full show after the whole Kyrie Irving situation. when they were going on and on about that. But this right here, man, Mark Henry saying, the wrestler saying that, you know, he can't watch, he won't watch them anymore. And Skip did come back and say, because he caught wind of this. He even could, because he said a lot of stuff to where he's never came back to offering an apology and things like that in situations in which he should have offered an apology. But with this one, he and I don't know if he have, you know, of course he does, management team or whatever saying, hey man, you should probably apologize about this. Like this, right? Like this is too far. Like everybody, because Skip doesn't strike me as a guy that goes down his timeline reading everything on Twitter and reading what people say. But someone from Fox, I'm assuming, got hold of him and said, yeah, you need to apologize about this one. Because he's had a, and you know, people were watching his Twitter ready to see what he was going to say. And he said, he came back and said right after that, when did he send the first tweet? He sent the first tweet about the Insensitive one, 6:30 p.m. West Coast time. And he came back, it took him almost an hour. He came back at 7:22 p.m., probably spending that near hour arguing why he shouldn't apologize because that's the type of guy that he strikes me as. And he said, nothing is more important than that young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and I will continue to. Again, this is the same guy, man, like I said, who already told you that his marriage comes, his sports comes before his marriage. He didn't have kids because he could never put his career over his kids. So, but again, we're always surprised at the next one when we shouldn't. We should just, when someone shows you who they are, we have to just believe them. We have to believe them, because, like I said, one of the moments, man, where you're just embarrassed to be a sports fan. Like I just like, this is disgusting right here, and I don't ever even use that word, disgusting. But this right here was just horrible. With a person's life, like just how dehumanized people are, and I tell myself all the time, man, I can't never get to that point. I can never see myself getting to that point to where somebody whose life is on the line, and all I care about is is the outcome of the game. Thinking about are they going to postpone the game? This game has high magnitude. The reason it took me so long to come over here, because I saw that and I had to just sit and digest it. Like after watching it, like wow, that really just, like you said, football's a dangerous sport. And we know there's a chance we could see stuff like that, but you never want to see anything like that. That's nothing you prepare to actually see. It wouldn't even come in my head. It wouldn't even cross my mind to come on here and say, man, what happened to Damar Hamlin was horrible, but what are they going to do about this game? This is a game that will have high playoff implications. The Bills 12-3, Bengals 11-4. The number one seed is on the line. The road to the Super Bowl. Like, it wouldn't even cross my mind to do something like that. But Skip Bayless is a near 80-year-old man or whatever, and he's just gone. He's shown us who he is, and we have to believe him. We have to believe Skip Bayless. This is who he is. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh well, Shannon, say Shannon, you should say something to him, you should go off on him and blah blah blah. I don't expect that from Shannon Sharpe, and I'm not gonna get on Shannon Sharpe. I'm just gonna say, I know a lot of people are thinking that or probably tweeting that at Shannon Sharpe because Shannon's name was trending. I didn't look at why, but I can imagine what they're saying to Shannon. Like, how could you have to say something? But I'm just gonna say, I'm going to control what I can control, and what I can control is listen to this fool speak. And I refuse to give he and Shannon 2.5 hours of my time, because he's a disgrace. He's just a disgrace. A disgrace of, this is horrible. Prayers for Damar Hamlin. Definitely will be sending that up to the Father. That's something you never want to see. Just pray for him. Pray for his family. I don't know if he has children. If he does, pray for his children. Pray for them, because that's a person's life on the line. And it's a sport we love, but the people come first.